To make those little baskets or those little box, I'm going to use that butter here that I cubed. I'm going to bread pieces of butter. Okay, I want to make sure that it's all coated with the egg. Then I'm going to go into the bread. Okay, I'm going to braid it like that. Up, up, up. Braid it well. As I braid it, I pack the bread into it here. Okay. Okay. Doing that. You want to work fast, huh? And you want to avoid big lumps. No lumps. Some bread on that big guy here. Big piece, big chunk of butter. See, I'm removing the excess of flour. I don't want too much flour. Very important again. Then into my egg mixture here. So that's just an egg. I mean, I should have 3 eggs in here. And I beat them up nicely, you know. And then here we go. And that's just regular breadcrumb made out of a great borderless bread. Anywho, so I bread that one. Now I'm going to rebread the little one. Okay? Up, back into the flour. That's a double bread. So I have my oil here that is ready. It's at 330 degrees, and you don't want to do much higher than that, 330, 350 max. Now I'm going to put that piece inside. I don't want to drop it in. I'm going to use what we call a skimmer here. I'm going to put it in and slowly I'm going to let it drip into the oil. Okay. So I'm going to let it into the oil till it's nice and brown in the outside. Then it'll be time to remove it. You don't want to let it too long into the oil, or because of the moisture into the butter that will need to come out at one point, it will break your breadcrumb. You know. For now, that moisture is contained inside. You know, nothing is coming out, but at one point it will, because moisture makes its way out of anything most of the time. You go like that. Make sure it's right everywhere. Okay? Now the butter, again, the butter is trapped into that breadcrumb. Now by coloring it this way, I firm up the breadcrumb. And you'll see in a moment the rest of the process. Okay, I'm going to take this one out before it starts melting in my oil here, and the butter will burn into the oil. I'm going to do the bowl now. So now I look at it, this one is releasing its butter, which is what I want. At one point I want that butter to come out of it, but I have a way to do that. I'm going to show you. I came out with that idea. I finally was able to make a sphere like that that could be hollowed at the end. And you'd be like, how did you make that? And finally, while reading a book, about Renaissance and in Rome, how they used to do those fresques and all that. They're talking how they make statues, like bronze statues. And at one point they use some wax that they carve into the product they want out of it, and then that wax is wrapped with some linens or paper, and then they pour a substance on it but solidify on the outside, and then they just put it into the oven, into an oven, so the wax melts out of it, and then inside they will pour the liquid bronze, let's say, or gold, whatever the statue needs to be made out of. So that's how I thought. I'd like, oh, butter could replace the wax, and it might work. And it did. Here, let's do that one. Okay. That one is ready. Now the big guy. Want to be careful for the oil not to overflow. Huh? So now those, I'm going to make a tiny hole here, a tiny little hole with my knife here. Just like that, so the butter can melt away into the oven. So I'm taking that bread and I'm going to cut the ends here. Okay, so you open it like that. Just try to keep it connected. I'm going to put a little bit of mayonnaise here. Come on. Okay, so I have that mayonnaise inside. Then I'm going to take a tomato. Going to go inside. 2 tomatoes actually. Some cheese. Hop, hop. Little scallions. So it could be anything here. This is what I want to use, but it really could be anything. You put that in. Ham. Okay. You take that. And you present it this way. It's the surprise. So what is inside the surprise? To know, you have to bite into it. That's your little surprise. Okay? If you don't like surprise, then you will open it up this way. And then you will do a little decoration on top so it looks good. And you can present it like that. Those are little pieces of scallion. Okay. Oops. I have some parsley here. I'm going to do a little sprig of parsley. Just like that. To have that come here. Okay. And then let's use that cup, that top here. I'm going to cut it in half like that. So now I have that little range. I'll put that inside here and put this one here like that. And here I create, you know, something a little different than what you used to. And it looks beautiful. Okay? This is another way you can use those little baskets.